Quince is all about elevated essentials that feel effortless. Designed for layering and mixing, each piece helps build a timeless wardrobe made to last. With versatile silhouettes and thoughtful details, they're the kind of styles you'll wear again and again. 100% organic cotton sweaters, premium denim made with stretch for all-day comfort, luxe cotton cashmere blends perfect for the changing seasons. Everything you need for a wardrobe that actually lasts. Quince works directly with safe, ethical factories and cuts out the middleman so you're not paying for brand markup, just high-quality clothing. Quince uses the highest quality materials like 100% European linen and organic cotton. Everything is built to hold up season to season. One of the big staples of my wardrobe is the Quince Mongolian cashmere sweater. I recommend getting the oversized crew in black and oatmeal. It goes with everything. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/Kate Casey for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Kate Casey to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Kate Casey. My mornings typically start at about 6 o'clock, and I'm usually up pretty late. As you can imagine, I need to be running on all cylinders to keep up with 5 kids and a daily podcast. I am always on the hunt for great wellness products, and you guys, I have a great one for you. I started taking the Super Elixir, a premium daily greens powder formulated to support all 11 systems of the body, including improved gut health, immunity, energy levels, and skin, hair, and nail health. It contains a blend of 40-plus whole food ingredients, probiotics, and minerals designed to reduce body acidity. I love that it's gluten-free, and I feel like I do have healthier skin and nails. I mix it with water or coconut water, and I'm good to go. Super easy and convenient. And the taste, it's original pineapple and lime, so it has a vibrant, tropical, and tangy flavor with the citrusy punch that hides the green taste of ingredients like wheatgrass. And by the way, it's Elle Macpherson's daily elixir for thriving through menopause. Right now, get 15% off the Super Elixir at wellco.com and use the code KateCasey15 at checkout. Try it for yourself and feel a difference within weeks. That's WELLECO.com, code KateCasey15 at checkout for 15% off the Super Elixir. 15% off at WELLECO.com, promo code KateCasey15, first time orders only. Reaching your weight loss goals doesn't have to mean completely changing the way that you live your life. What if you could make healthy progress with a treatment plan that included medication, access to 24/7 support, nutrition tips, and tools for tracking movement, hydration, and sleep, all personalized to go at your pace? That's weight loss by Hers. Through Hers, you're connected with a medical provider who determines if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment plan is personalized to support you in reaching your goals. Plus, you can get access to a range of treatment options, like oral medication kits or GLP-1 injectables. Hers goes beyond medication by offering access to ongoing care, dosage and medication adjustments, lifestyle and nutrition tips, and 24/7 support with no hidden costs or membership fees, and with options starting at just $69 per month with a 10-month plan when paid upfront in full. Hers provides access to options that fit your goals and your budget. Feel like your best self again. Visit forhers.com/Kate Casey to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's forhers.com/Kate Casey. Forhers.com/Kate Casey. Weight loss by Hers is not available everywhere. Compounded drug products are not approved or evaluated for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for full details. Important safety information and restrictions. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased.
The amazing Kate Casey.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with Kate Casey. Today is your What to Watch episode, and it's for the week of February 16th through the 23rd. Now, as always, make sure that you are subscribed not only to this podcast and that you've left a 5-star review, but you also go to katecasey.substack.com. When you get there, put in your email address and you will get this list every week. And you will also get access to all of the archive lists and also the articles that I've written. Special things are on the Substack. So go check it out, katecasey.substack.com. I also hope that you've been checking out the bonus episodes. And I've just completed a short series with Mary Payne That's 11 episodes. It's on Patreon at patreon.com/KKC. And each week we would exchange a story. And they're about an hour each and they cannot be missed. So Tell Me Everything series is on Patreon at patreon.com/KKC. And of course, bonus podcasts on Apple Podcasts. Okay, so this week, the first thing I have to tell you is you can watch a 3-part docuseries called Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model. And my Wednesday episode is an interview with the co-directors. So this comes out on Netflix February 16th. It's a behind-the-scenes documentary series that chronicles America's Next Top Model. Do you remember that show? Tyra Banks at the helm, and then she would have judges including Janice Dickinson, Nigel Barker, and others. And they would be deciding on who is going to be America's Next Top Model. It was not just a pop culture phenomenon, but a high-pressure reality TV machine. And so the series examines both what viewers saw on screen and what happened behind the scenes during the show's peak years. Got to be honest, you are going to be cringing at some of the challenges that they had at this show. Now, I remember the first season well, and I interviewed Adrienne Curry, who I thought was most interesting, and she did not want to participate in this, which I think says a lot. I don't think she has the greatest feelings about Tyra or the other judges. Now, again, when you look back at the challenges that they would have on this show, they're so disturbing. And one of the former contestants, or maybe it was one of the commentators, said, or astutely pointed out, that some of the challenges seem to be derived from finding out secret fears of the contestants. So, for example, you say at some point in some sort of pre-show interview, I'm sure, that you're afraid of heights, like myself. Okay, well, the challenge is you're going to be hanging off a building. Bizarre, mean, cruel. One of the challenges was dress up like a homeless person. Why would you want to? Apparently, it was a creative choice because Tyra had recently been in some show where she had acted homeless. It was all bonkers. And so anyway, they circle back and they interview a lot of the women that participated. And you have to give it to them. They are so powerful in providing for you a window into what they endured. And you just see how so many of them in that period of time had their dreams crushed and their resiliency today. And the weirdest thing about it for me is, and I hope that you kind of pay attention to this too, is some of the producers, and absolutely it seems Tyra, seemed to be thinking that this was going to be a celebratory piece. Like this was such an incredible show. And I don't think they really look at it that way, that it was something to go over with a fine-tooth comb because it was horrifying. I think they think it's like, it was a pop culture moment. And yes, to some degree, it introduced diversity in the fashion industry. But then you look at the way that the judges treated some of these contestants. Now, some of the judges are saying throughout the series, we thought it was horrible, but we didn't really know what to do. Well, you could use your voice. You know what I mean? And also Tyra, I have mixed feelings because I know how much she endured as a young model. And then I wonder, well, why would you want to put someone else through something like that? The humiliation. Now, you probably remember there was one contestant that she had a big blowout with. You're going to get a better window into what happened behind the scenes. There's so much to unpack. I want you to watch it. I want you to circle back and tell me what you think. And remember, my Wednesday episode is an interview with the co-directors. So this one, you're going to get the emotional and psychological toll on contestants, the power dynamics between the judges, the producers, and the young models, how beauty standards, race, body image, and exploitation played out in the early aughts reality TV, and the gap between the show's aspirational branding and then the real-world consequences. So this fits squarely into the current wave of re-examination documentaries, so like Quiet on the Set or Framing Britney Spears, reassessing influential entertainment through a modern lens of consent, of labor ethics, and also media responsibility. So Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model, February 16th on Netflix. Being Gordon Ramsay arrives on Netflix on February 18th. This is a high-access documentary series following Gordon Ramsay during the opening of a new restaurant. And it's in London, and it's mammoth. I mean, the space in which he is trying to put together this business. It seems overwhelming even as an outsider. And he's using this moment as a lens into his famously relentless personal and professional life. Now, I know somebody who has worked with him as a producer for a long time, and he said he's actually quite sweet in a caramel center. It's just on camera, he comes across as ruthless and sometimes abrupt and direct and unconcerned. But that was the take of one of the producers. Well, in this series, you get access to his personal life, his 100-mile-an-hour work ethic, the physical and emotional toll of maintaining a global culinary empire, his relationships with his family, his staff, and his proteges, and how he balances precision, pressure, and a public persona. So it's more immersive and reflective than his competition shows, and I think it positions him less as a TV character and more as this driven, complicated human being. Now, just for reference, he was born in Scotland, originally trained as a professional soccer player before a career-ending injury pushed him towards cooking. So he studied under elite European chefs, including Marco Pierre White and Guy Savoy. He earned multiple Michelin-starred restaurants worldwide, or created them, and one of the most recognizable figures in modern food TV. He's known for Hell's Kitchen, MasterChef, Kitchen Nightmares, numerous international formats. So I think this is kind of wrestling between public persona versus reality. So while famous for his explosive temper on TV, colleagues are often, like I just said, describe him as disciplined and loyal and deeply invested into mentoring chefs. So I think this is one where you get Gordon Ramsay reframed beyond this memeified yelling chef. I think it's more of an examination of how ambition, control, and vulnerability can coexist in extreme success. So there you go. It's on Netflix on February 18th and it's called Being Gordon Ramsay. Was January supposed to be your big fresh start? Well, sometimes the pressure to fix everything all at once can make you feel stuck. Grow Therapy makes it easier to reset at your own pace with therapy that's covered by insurance and built around your life. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 50th, Grow makes it easier to find a therapist who fits you and not the other way around. They connect you with thousands of independent licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. And if something comes up, you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. Whatever challenges that you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Grow accepts over 100 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0, depending on their plan. Therapy is the best gift you can give yourself because it's an investment in understanding, healing, and becoming the healthiest version of you. Visit growtherapy.com/Kate Casey today to get started. That's growtherapy.com/Kate Casey. growtherapy.com/Kate Casey. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan. Every year I tell myself, I'm going to get better about meal planning, and every year life gets busy and it falls apart. What finally clicked for me is realizing that meals don't have to look one specific way. They just have to fit your life. That's what Marley Spoon does really well. What I love is that Marley Spoon actually adapts with you. Some nights you cook, some nights you heat, some nights you just need dinner done fast. They've got options for all of it so that meals fit your schedule and not the other way around. And here's what I love. They give you over 100 recipes to choose from each week. We're talking comforting classics to fresh, balanced dishes. Marley Spoon has tons of options in their marketplace, from meal shortcuts and drinks to fresh groceries that you can add on every week. And you can find these in every weekly menu. And you've got a few extra minutes. You've got some great 20-minute options too. And my personal favorite hack, the tray-baked dinners. Literally throw everything on one tray and boom, you're done. And they even include the tray. My favorite recent meal from Marley Spoon was the honey lemon chicken, but my kids also love the citrus kale salad with poached salmon. So this new year, fast track your way to eating well with Marley Spoon. Head to marleyspoon.com/offer/Kate Casey for up to 25 free meals. That's right, up to 25 free meals with Marley Spoon. That's marleyspoon.com/offer/Kate Casey for up to 25 free meals. This new year, fast track your way to eating well with Marley Spoon. Head to marleyspoon.com/offer/Kate Casey for 45% off your first order and free delivery. That's right, 45% off your first order and free delivery. That's marleyspoon.com/offer/Kate Casey. You know how I've been going around my house making changes in all of the rooms? Nothing feels better than a great room refresh. Our latest project has been my son Jack's room. His room is cream with blue and with pictures of the ocean. He wanted a new upholstered bed, nightstand, and a big bedside lamp. And there was no better place to find it than Wayfair. And it became such a fun project for us to do together. Wayfair's huge selection of home decor items makes it easy to find exactly what's right for you. There are a multitude of options in every design and style. The website is so easy to navigate, and you will not believe how fast your order comes. Get organized, refreshed, and back on track this new year for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. So then we have another documentary. This one is called Fit for a Killer, Surviving the Jehovah's Witnesses. This premieres on Max on February 20th. It is a multi-episode investigation, discovery true crime series centered on individuals connected to the Jehovah's Witnesses who have experienced serious harm, trauma, or institutional conflict. So you've got personal survivor stories from former members, allegations of systemic failures within the organization, how internal rules, discipline, and secrecy affect victims, and the intersection of faith, power, and accountability. So it's an investigative and testimonial combining firsthand accounts with broader structural analysis. And I always find deep exploration of different sects of religion to be very interesting. I think this is something for you if you really like deep, thoughtful explorations, like I said, of faith, of structures, of institutions. So it's called Fit for a Killer, Surviving the Jehovah's Witnesses on February 20th. Also on HBO, Murder in Glitterball City. This is on the 19th. This is a deep dive into a murder case involving two former lovers accused of killing a vulnerable individual. So the narrative shifting depending on whose version of events is being told. So you have unreliable narrators and conflicting testimonies, which sometimes is kind of interesting because the onus is on you to figure out who is the reliable narrator. You've got toxic relationships and emotional manipulation. Also, how perception, performance, and identity are shaping truth. And of course, the legal system struggle with ambiguity. So it's a complicated true crime story, and it's really up to you to figure out what really happened, which I think in an age of so many true crime analysis pieces that are explored not only in documentary series, but now even on TikTok, might be perfect for you if you love true crime. Murder in Glitterball City, Thursday, February 19th on HBO. Also on HBO, they have a series called Neighbors. This is a 6-episode verite-style series which examines real residential disputes across the U.S., from property lines to pets to escalating personal vendettas. So the creative approach is it's told from both sides of each conflict. It emphasizes competing truths rather than villains. So it's observational, it's intimate, it's often uncomfortable. At its core, it's really about how ordinary people unravel, how minor grievances metastasize, and how proximity can breed obsession. It's as much about human psychology as it is about conflict. And again, it is called Neighbors, HBO and Max, February 13 and began, and it continues. Now, over on Paramount Plus, they have Wild Boys, Strangers in Town. This is on Wednesday, February 18th. This is the true story of two young men who appear in a small British Columbia town in 2003. Now, they claim that they were raised entirely off the grid in the wilderness. So it's really about community belief versus skepticism and the human desire for myth-making. Also, how trauma, identity, and storytelling intersect and what happens when people want something to be true. So it examines not just whether the story is real, but why people are willing to suspend disbelief and what that reveals about loneliness, hope, and trust. Wild Boys, Strangers in Town on Paramount Plus. And again, that's February 18th. And of course, you should still be watching every episode of The Traitors. Episode 10 next week, or this week, I should say, is Do You Know the Enemy? Now, a finalist spot is at stake. There's suspicion and paranoia, which is intensifying. Alliances are straining under pressure. And a strategic mission forces players to rethink loyalties. One faithful is eliminated and tightening to the end game. So now it's not so much about the twist, it's about psychological endurance. So if you love stories which tackle trust erosion, how people behave when they're nearly out of time, this is all right up your alley. So don't miss this week's episode on the 19th. Now, of course, if you go over to Bravo, you can get Southern Charm, which I'm really enjoying, and that's on Wednesday, February 18th. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is on February 19th. Summer House is on Tuesday, so February 17th. And I'm really enjoying the Valley Persian style, particularly the newer cast members. So I want you to check it out for that reason. And so that is your list this week. I'm hoping that you're having a great week. Again, go to katecasey.substack.com. Make sure that you're signed up for this list and pass it on to all the people in your life. Check out the bonus episodes on Apple Podcast and on Patreon at patreon.com/KateCasey. Please follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at KateCaseyCA, TikTok, it's Kate Casey, Twitter Threads and Blue Sky at Kate Casey. And check back all new episodes this week. I know you're going to enjoy them so much. And go back and listen to last week's episodes as well. Again, I'm hoping that you're enjoying your week, the beginning of the week, and then also for those of you who have break this week with your kids, I hope that you get some time for yourself. Oh, and most of all, don't forget about the Love is Blind episodes because the first 6 episodes aired last week. Krista Rosa and I have a whole new episode where we review it, and you do not want to miss out on that. The first 6 episodes we talk about, and then all new episodes continue for the next couple of weeks. So make sure you're checking that out as well.
A question from AT&T and FirstNet. When you dedicate your life to saving others, don't you deserve something dedicated to you? We think so. That's why the government chose us, AT&T, to build FirstNet, a one-of-a-kind nationwide network for first responders. Because their connection changes everything. Learn more at firstnet.com.